guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, I am Victoria. I do a lot of fashion, lifestyle, and other random videos like vlogs on my channel. If you're not new, thank you for coming back and watching a new video of mine. So I have been away for quite a while on YouTube, and if you've been following me and watching my videos, you know I came back with a Vlogmas in December with like no real kind of explanation as to like why I've been gone, what I've been doing, and ever since then I've been producing quite a few videos just to kind of get content up for you guys so that you can kind of see what I've been up to and the content I want to produce for this year. But I feel like I owe it to you guys to kind of give you a life update on what's been going on with me, what has changed, what has happened since the last time I really spoke to you guys, which was I think almost 3 years ago. A lot of you guys are still following me since then. So hi, I'm still here. Thank you for staying. And there's been a lot of newness in the family. The family has grown quite a bit since I started vlogging again. I think I started off at around under 400 and now we're a little bit over 400, so that's great. It seems that you guys are really enjoying my content and resonating with me so far. But I kind of want to talk about myself a little bit so you can kind of get to know me, what has changed, what I'm planning for this year, what we're going to be doing, and what my focuses are so that you guys can kind of like follow along and know what to expect. So without further ado, let's get started. What I'm going to do is start with a recap from since the last time you guys kind of saw me and catch you up kind of to pace as to what's been going on with my life so far so you can kind of get a feel of like what's been changing. I have my phone in front of me with like a list of stuff I kind of wanted to run through, so if you see me looking through that, you'll know why. I had to really list it down to make sure I didn't miss anything because I want to make sure I give you guys the fullest details as to what's been going on with my life. Okay, so for the first thing that like was a major pivotal moment, there have been so many pivotal moments in the past like 3 years since I've really been on YouTube. First one was Kobe, my dog. He was in here earlier and he just decided to leave. I got a dog, guys. He is turning 4 this year, I think. I don't know if I introduced him in any of my previous videos, but he may have been a puppy when I first got him and I did a video the last time he existed. I don't even know if he was in my life at that point, but yeah, I got a dog. He's a little Pomeranian. His name is Kobe. He's a boy. I will insert a photo right here so you can see what he looks like, and maybe partway through the video, if he decides to join me again, I'll kind of insert a clip of him in the video so you guys can kind of see what he looks like in real life. You'll probably hear him barking a lot in my background because he's a barky little disturber. But I love him to death. He is so cute and I've learned so much since owning a dog. They say owning a dog is kind of like having a precursor to kids. I have zero plans to have kids anytime soon, so don't go jumping to conclusions. I'm not pregnant. But I've like learned so much about caring for somebody else other than myself. It's really interesting, rewarding, and I love him to death. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't adopted a dog. I was at a really low point in my life when I adopted him and he really changed my life for the better. The quality of my life has improved significantly since I got Kobe. So no regrets there, and I highly recommend that you guys get dogs too if you're at a good point in your life where you think you can handle taking care of one. But he's honestly changed my life for so much better, and I can't imagine myself living without him now. It's just crazy to me. So yeah, I got a dog and he's turning 4 this year. His birthday is on May 14th. And last year we kind of went all out. I got him like a massive cake that was this big. It was $40. $40 for a dog cake, guys. I don't even spend that much on a cake for myself when it's my birthday. I don't think I'm gonna go as crazy this year. I actually kind of want to try seeing if I can make some cake and cookies of my own for him. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, he's gonna be celebrating his birthday in a few months. So I'm excited. I'm also sad at the same time to know that he's now 4 years old because, you know, dogs don't live as long as humans do. And it's crazy to think that he's not gonna be here for my whole life. But for the years that he is here with me, I am very appreciative of him. I love him to death. It's like the cuddliest little fur ball ever. Okay, so next big aspect of my life is I moved downtown Toronto. I used to live in an area of Toronto called North York. It's like about, I'd say, a 45-minute subway ride from where I am right now. Actually, almost over an hour if you count like the streetcar you take to the subway. Take the subway up and then you take another bus to get to where I was. It was a little far. At that time, it was great because my rent was like really low. We lived in like a 2,000 square foot townhome with a roommate, but then circumstances changed. I had to move out. My job at that point revolved me spending a lot of time downtown, so I figured it'd probably be more cost efficient and time efficient for me to actually live downtown so I can get to places faster and cut down on time. So I moved downtown. We moved into the current building that I'm living in right now. It was a much smaller condo. I think it was like around 500 square feet between myself, Peter, and Kobe. And then after a year of that, we're just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I can't handle this much space. And we upgraded to one that's a little over 600 square feet, which we're now also feeling like we're running out of space. We have a space right now that is currently renting under market value since we've been here for almost 4 years. We've been able to keep our cost of rent relatively low, even though the market is surging because there's regulations in place that doesn't allow you to really like hike up the price that much every year. So it's really hard for us to move out of this space to find a bigger one, because if we did, we'd have to like jump up and like $500-600 a month. At the end of the year, I'm not willing to spend an extra $6,000 to $7,000 just for like a little bit more space. I think we can handle here for a little bit longer until we move out. And I think the next big step for us is probably gonna be buying a place. So that's currently in the works of that. Not anytime soon though, so don't worry. All right, so since moving downtown, I have gone through quite a few different career changes in my life. So when I was living in North York, I was working for a advertising and content production agency company, I guess. I actually moved downtown after I left there. I quit my job there, stayed up there for a little bit. That's when I got Kobe. I got Kobe in between jobs. A lot of people told me that that wasn't a smart move. Why are you spending like $1,000 on a dog when you have no job? But in reality, when I look back in hindsight, that was probably the best time ever for me to adopt him, just because I had all the time at home and I was able to take care of him. I was able to potty train him. I was able to discipline him. And I don't think that if I was working every single day, I would have been able to do that. And I probably would have come home to a dog that was peeing and pooing everywhere with a mess, and he would have really bad discipline problems. Kobe still has some issues every once in a while behaviorally, but I think it's much more manageable than what it would have been if I was working full time and I had to take care of him as well too. All right, so back to my job aspect. Once I quit my job, and then we lived there for a few more months, and then I finally moved downtown. I got a job in a PR agency. They reached out to me because I had a blog back then. I still have a blog now, but my blog was doing well. My Instagram was growing, and they wanted somebody with insight into the industry to kind of like help them grow on their side. This was about 3 years ago when a lot of PR agencies were still transitioning over from traditional PR to include more digital PR in their stack of offers to their clients. So they really wanted my aspect and viewpoint to really help them grow as a team. I stayed there for about a year and a half. I learned so much from them, so many ins and outs on the other side of the industry that you don't usually see if you're like an Instagrammer or a YouTuber only, or like a blogger or whatever else that you do. I got to see a lot of client insight from the back end and really understand the client's mind. I got to really understand how a lot of really big brands operate, such as like L'Oreal and Club Monaco, and it helped to really grow my own brand as well too, and to become a little bit more professional in how I handle myself and how I pitch myself to clients. So that was great. A year and a half of PR, I picked up so much from there. And then I decided at that point that like PR wasn't really the thing for me. Like I liked it, I enjoyed it, but it's definitely not the glamorous life that you may be led to think whenever you see like a friend or somebody that you know doing PR. It's fun, but at the end of the day, it is a lot of work and a lot of emails and a lot of playing catch up with clients, potential talent that you're working with. So I decided that that wasn't the field for me that I wanted to pursue, and I left them to go work in a marketing company again that did some advertising as well too. Surprise, surprise. So I worked for a company that helped really liaise creators and brands together to make sure that all the creators are being paid in full, whereas all the brands are getting high quality work. Because a huge problem that we get here is in this world of like content creation, a lot of the times people don't get paid their full rate, and it's really frustrating when brands undercut them. And then brands also get frustrated when they don't get high quality content, but they are shelling out the money to pay for it. So we help maintain that relationship, and I worked there for a little over a year. I would say a year and 4 months before things were like starting to really pick up on my side, on my blog, on my Instagram, and I ended up traveling so much that I had to take so much time off from work. They were really flexible and it was great at the time, but then I started feeling really bad that I was taking all the time off. My team wasn't able to rely on me all the time whenever they needed to, and I thought at that point I was being pulled too far to like my career in an office job life and then my career on Instagram and my blog, and I thought that that was the right moment for me to kind of cut the ties between the two, because merging together was just difficult. It was not possible. There's just too much going on either side that I felt that this was the one chance in my life where I had the opportunity to really pursue a job where I could be my own boss. I can control my own hours, the work that I do, and when I want to do work, who I work with, that sort of thing. So you know what? I decided, let's take this chance. Do it and see what happens, and that's what I did. I quit my job in an office to go blogging full time, and that's what I've been doing for the past year. So I think at the end of this January is actually going to be my complete 1 year anniversary of working full time as a content creator, and it has been a ride, complete ride, guys. That's going to be a whole other topic for another video at another point, and I think I may do that in February, kind of just things that I've learned since becoming a freelancer, working for yourself full time, and what it's like to quit a job and how to prepare yourself for that. Because I know that a lot of people are kind of gearing up for that aspect in their life where they've been working for so long and they have like a blog or a YouTube or an Instagram account that has been doing so well for them, but it's just hard to leave that 9 to 5 office reliable life and shift over to like the freelance life. So if you want me to touch on that, and I think I actually will regardless of whether or not you guys are interested in it, I just want to share my story, help anybody else out who's in the same boat, and kind of give you guys the inspiration that you can go after your dreams and there's nobody there to really stop you besides yourself, and you can really achieve your goal. So, whole other story, but yes, Recapping, I've gone through PR, I've worked at a marketing agency, and now I am working full-time for myself, and I do not regret a single moment of it at all. It has been the best thing that's ever happened to me, even though there's been so many ups and downs along that. Okay, so that is my career kind of lifespan, catching you guys up on the past kind of like 3 years and what I've been up to. Since then, if you guys haven't noticed in my videos, which why haven't you noticed? I'm just kidding. I got engaged. I got engaged to my best friend, the love of my life, Peter. You guys may have seen him on my Instagram stories if you follow me over there. He's in quite a few of them. He's been quite present in my Instagram posts as well too, and he also has an Instagram account. You can follow him right here, and you may have seen a lot of him in my recent Vlogmas this past Christmas as well too. He made a lot of cameos, and I'm definitely going to be bringing him onto my channel as well too, to really talk about what it's like to be engaged, how we made the decision, and to talk about more about the process of like picking up the ring, how he proposed to me, yada yada, that whole like wedding spiel. Don't worry, I'll cover it on here. We're planning on having our wedding sometime next year. I'm really banking on like end of May, early June, but there's just like so much going on. People ask me all the time, why did you decide to have such like a long engagement? And when we got engaged last year, actually we're coming up to our 1 year anniversary. Oh my god, that's so close. We got engaged last year, 2018, on January 12th. That was a long time ago. I can't believe that a year has flown by since we've been engaged. That is mind-boggling to me. It is crazy. But yeah, we've been engaged for a whole year. Now, by the time you see this video, we'll be engaged for a year. And there's just been so much that's been going on that we decided, you know what? I want a spring wedding. I knew that for sure. And for us to plan a wedding to happen in 2018, May, June time would just be not enough. I had just quit my job, or I knew that I was going to be coming up to quitting my job at that point, and I wanted a year to really focus on my full-time job as being a creator and a blogger, to make sure that A, financially we were sustainable, and then B, I had enough savings to actually pay off our wedding, because a wedding is expensive, guys. Don't kind of like let the Disney magic kind of soothe you over and think that wedding is so magical, it's great. It definitely is. Don't let that break your vision of like a fantastic wedding, but keep in mind it is really expensive and you have to have the finances for it. I wanted to be able to fully save up for my wedding and to be proud that I can pay for my wedding by myself. So that's why we decided to hold off and to have a longer engagement that's going to be lasting for about 2.5 years, and the goal right now is to get married next year in 2020 in May, June. So now that it's come like a full cycle of 1 year since I quit my job and I've been working full-time as a blogger and content creator, I can now kind of shift my focus, because I know that we are financially sustainable and like successful. We have a lot of savings saved up for the wedding, and now I can fully immerse myself into wedding planning. So everybody that's been asking me so far, my friends and family, what's been going on with your wedding? How much have you planned? I've literally done nothing. I've gone to see a couple venues, but we've booked nothing so far. But that's gonna change for this year. A lot of stuff is gonna be booked, and we're gonna plan out a lot of things. So I'm also gonna be documenting all the wedding planning process for you guys on my YouTube as well too, so you can follow along if you're interested in that, but more or less kind of just a document for myself, so in the future I can look back and see how much fun I had planning the wedding. It's kind of like a memory archive scrapbook type of deal, but on YouTube. Yeah. But yeah, don't worry, we'll be taking you guys on the ride for that as well too. So yeah, I got engaged. It wasn't anything like crazy. I've always never wanted to be engaged in public. It was a really intimate moment between the two of us and Kobe, of course, and I'll be sharing that in another video when we do kind of like what it's like to be engaged for a whole year, and Peter will be in that, and he'll share his viewpoint as well too as to how he felt leading up to the special day. Okay, so now that the whole relationship, move, and career aspect has like kind of been talked about, I can also kind of chat about like what I've been doing outside of that, like the fun stuff. We've been traveling a lot, like a lot. It has always been my love to travel. I've traveled so much as a kid. My parents took us around like all of North America. I've seen a lot of the States and a lot of Canada, and I wanted to be able to go other places as well too. I now truly understand that Europe is one of my absolute favorite places. Peter and I both discovered that we absolutely love Portugal. It is our favorite place to ever visit, and we're gonna be going back this year for a second time. We went 2 years ago. Besides that, there's quite a few other places we've been to in the past 3 years. Even in like the past year alone, we've done a lot. So I'm gonna kind of like list out everything that I've done. I hope I cover everything, and if there's any specific place that you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments, and I'll kind of recap like things to do there. But otherwise, I always do a travel diary on my blog as well too, so you can kind of check it out. It encompasses 10 things to do when you're traveling anywhere, and it's mostly stuff that I've done, but a lot of these places I've been to multiple times already, so they're kind of my favorite things to do and things that you should definitely put onto your itinerary if you're ever going to be going there. But make sure to give them a check out. I'll kind of link a couple of them down below of the most recent ones that I've been to. But to get to this list, I had to like honestly write it out. These are all the places I've gone to within the last year alone, and I may have forgotten a couple, but we've been to, actually the past like 2-3 years, we've been to London, Morocco, Spain, Portugal, Bermuda, Banff, Calgary, Montreal, Belize, Paris, I went twice, Orlando, Vence, Nice, Santa Barbara, Punta Cana, Phoenix, Las Vegas, NYC, and PEC. I think that's all I can remember off the top of my head. That's 19, I can't do that on my fingers, but that's 19 places, guys. That's a lot of traveling that we've done in the past few years alone. More than I've probably ever done in my whole life altogether. Well, maybe not, but it's quite a bit. And you know what, like, it's been great. I've loved it. I've loved all these opportunities. So many of them have been opportunities to travel with brands, which has been so much fun. And so many of them have been opportunities for us to travel alone as well too. So I definitely hope to continue traveling this year and the next year as well. But I think we might tone it down a little bit since we traveled so much last year. It was tiring after you travel so much, and I don't think I want to go more than maybe one place a month this year. That's my goal if I end up filling up places this year on my calendar, but my goal is to keep it at one a month so I can really be able to come back home, settle down, relax. We spend a lot of money on rent for this place, furnishing this place, so I want to be able to enjoy my home. I also want to be able to spend time with Kobe as well too, because whenever we travel too much, I always feel so guilty that we're leaving him home alone. He's not alone, don't worry. We have a friend of ours who comes over and stays at our place and sits him while we're gone, but I just feel so guilty that we're not there for him, and I want to be able to spend more time with him. And yeah, it's just, I love travel, but I've discovered that I'm a huge homebody. As much as I love to travel, I also love to be back at home, relaxing in my PJs, sitting on the couch, watching Netflix, eating like junk food. I should be getting back to the gym because that's a really unhealthy habit. But yeah, I'm like such a homebody, and I get so tired from traveling that I think I'm gonna try to tone it down to one trip per month if possible. Sometimes there's a couple of PR trips that are like stacked on top of each other, which I can't really help out, but like no more than one long haul trip at a time. And by long haul, I mean more than 3 days at a time, because that's a bit much. But so far for this year, we have actually quite a few trips planned up until June already. So as you can see, it's quite hectic. And if you only plan one trip a month, it fills up really quickly in your calendar. So for January, I have a trip with Tahiti with the tourism board. February, we're not going anywhere far. We're just going to be going back home to Ottawa to visit. Then March, end of March, early April, we're going to be going to New Orleans because I've always wanted to go there. I'm a huge history buff, and I really want to stay at some haunted places and learn more about like witchcraft and voodoo, and of course eat the food. Then April, I think we're going to go to Amsterdam because I've always wanted to see the Tulip Festival there. It's beautiful. I love the Tulip Festivals in Ottawa, but like Tulip festivals in the Netherlands are like a whole other story, and I'm excited for that. I think in May we're going to be going back to London to visit my friend Camilla and to also see the Chelsea Flower Market. It is so stunning. If you guys have never been to London, I highly recommend it. It is beautiful there, and they go all out with their kind of like festive decor. If you haven't seen pictures from Christmas, I don't know how you haven't. It's all over the place. The Christmas is insane, and if I'm lucky enough to go back this year for Christmas 2019, I definitely want to for a week just to kind of like check it out. But yeah, the Chelsea Flower Market in May, and then in June we have another trip booked to go back to Portugal. Peter and I are hoping to get our engagement photos done there. It's gonna be like almost a year and a half since we got engaged at that point, but who cares? We want to take photos in our favorite place in the entire world to be together, so I'm super excited for that. And that's all we have so far for the year. So we have July till December to kind of like really plan out trips that we want to go to. I know that in November, December sometime, I personally really want to go to somewhere a little bit chillier for the winter, like Russia or Germany or like the Swiss Alps or something, just because they have such amazing Christmas market decor and setups there that I think it would be so cool to experience that. But we do have quite a few other friends' weddings to attend in September and October as well too, so those 2 months are probably going to be blocked off for weddings. It's going to be an expensive time of the year, that time of the year, just because weddings are so expensive, and we're going to be planning our own wedding for next year. Wow, that's crazy to think that almost in a year, less than a year and a half, we're gonna be married. Crazy! But yeah, it's gonna be a crazy next year and a half. There's already so much being planned and in the works. I can't wait but have you guys join us on the ride and the journey for all of it. Yeah, there's been so many big changes in the past 3 years of our life. I think as you grow older, you have this like segment in your life where so much change happens at once that it gets a little bit hectic. Some of it's been good, some of it's been bad. I would be lying if I said everything was like a high and amazing for me. I've definitely enjoyed it. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned a lot about my friends. I've removed a lot of toxic relationships from my life. I've gained a lot more new friends that like I truly value. Obviously, as you get older and you move through life, your friendship circle like gets tighter and tighter when you find people that you truly trust and you vibe with. So that's been a huge change for me as well too. And I think Peter and I have like really done a lot of introspection and learned a lot about each other too in the past few years, and gotten to know each other a little bit better. We've been together for almost 8 years. Almost 8 years. This summer will be our 8-year anniversary together. We'll have been engaged for 1 year in the next week. And then, yeah, we've been together for a long time. But I feel like we've learned so much more about each other in the past few years that we've lived together and done so much more together and traveled together a lot more than we ever have. So we've got a lot closer in that aspect, and I really can't wait to see where the rest of our life is going to take us together on this adventure. So yeah, that's kind of a life update on my end. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I am parched. I'm so thirsty after speaking and touching base on all that stuff that's been going on in my past life for the past year. I guess that's what happens when you disappear from YouTube for 3 years. You have a lot to catch up on. But I hope you guys got to know me a little bit better. If there's anything else you guys really want me to touch base on, let me know. I have so many ideas for 2019 on like video topics that I want to cover in regards to like being engaged, wedding planning, just like other fashion videos that I want to do. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited as well too. Thank you again for coming back and watching my videos. I love you guys. If you're not already part of the family, make sure to subscribe, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments for any sort of other videos you would like to see from me. And if you want to make sure that you catch all my videos every single week, I upload every Sunday night. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that you are notified whenever I post a video. But other than that, thanks again guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!